I guess I'm glad to say that my memory doesn't go back as far as Bob Gotshall's.
And Charles. I can't remember anything except my grudges.
When I first moved here to Souderton in 1985, I lived right up the street on Main Street, just a couple of houses up. I recall being quite glad that within walking distance were many businesses for everyday use. There was a five and dime, a small market and butcher shop, 2 shoe repair stores, a local bank, a few restaurants, and even a bar or 2. There was a bike shop, a dry cleaner, 2 furniture stores, a hardware store just outside of the downtown. We also had a couple of retail stores for clothing and jewelry, and even a movie theater. To me, Souderton felt pretty self-sufficient. But it didn't take long for me to realize that my choices were somewhat limited. And I started doing what many Soudertonians had been doing before me increasingly over the last 20 or 30 years. I began going out of town for alternatives to shop, to eat, and to be entertained. Before I moved to Souderton, I'd lived in small towns throughout America, up and down California, in New England and New York, the mid-Atlantic states, and in Florida. For the most part, those towns were defined by a specific need or industry. They were summer resorts, or college towns, or tourist meccas, or they supported a strong yachting industry or wine industry. But by the time I moved to Souderton, Souderton had lost its uniqueness, its definition, its purpose. It had become a pass-through town, and as opposed to a go-to town. 50 and 100 years ago, it was a great center of commerce, industry, and farming. But as personal transportation became more affordable for families, and as farming properties became more valuable, things changed. The suburbanization of America was well underway. Small urban centers like Souderton were feeling the pinch created by suburban malls and shopping centers. And this sprawl was creating ghost towns out of once thriving small communities. As spending went elsewhere, so did our tax base, putting the tax burden more and more on the property owner and less on businesses. So about 10 years ago, with the help from the state and Montgomery County, and with direction from our borough manager, Mike Cole, several like-minded borough officials, business owners, and residents of Souderton and Telford got together and formed the Souderton-Telford Community Development Corporation, or what is now known as Souderton-Telford Main Streets. We wanted to revitalize our communities, to bring business back into the downtown areas. We wanted to make our community a place that the residents could use and were proud of living in. And of course, we wanted a place where others would come into town to enjoy themselves as well. And of course, to proceed with our revitalization, we wanted to tap federal, state, and county monies as much as possible. The Main Street program was our driving force, our engine. But competition for expendable dollars was all around us. In Montgomeryville, Skippack, Quakertown, Ambler, New Hope. We knew we had to develop a niche that would not necessarily compete with the surrounding communities, but one that would set us apart from them. Souderton and the Main Streets program decided we would use entertainment and the arts as our primary niche for drawing and keeping people in our downtown. The first step was convincing the Montgomery Theater to stay here in our town. It had become wildly successful and had outgrown its small basement theater. The borough decided to purchase the building across the street here, and to provide the opportunity for the Montgomery Theater to expand and grow right here in town. And believe me, literally thousands of people come to our borough every year to enjoy the live theater here. The next step was to start the beautification process for the downtown region. Phase 1, from Chestnut Street to Hillside, is complete, and we were able to use county grant monies to do much of the work. But we realized that we needed more parking in the downtown area, particularly on this east side of Main Street. We knew that with additional parking available, these 3 mill buildings next to us going down the hill would be more attractive to developers. Again, largely with county money, this parking lot behind me was built. Almost done. And so developers came. Jamie Olibach did a great job refurbishing the middle of the 3 buildings next to us for his business, Olibach Communications, as well as for the Main Street Java, which is probably a good place for all of us to go today for a nice hot cup of coffee, at least for me. And Dave Holiday did a wonderful job rehabbing the furniture mart next to us with small micro office businesses in mind. The last step of this phase was to make our parking lot more friendly, more of a town square, and not just a place to leave your car. And so, once again, using county monies, and with the guidance of Borough Council, the Main Streets program, our borough manager and crew, as well as the Indian Valley Arts Foundation, we have completed a pocket park here in the Hollow, with the centerpiece being this wonderful work of art by the world-renowned Wayne Trapp. And finally, this points to one of the best attributes of our borough of Souderton. Before you leave today, take a look at the plaque here. It includes the names of businesses, groups, and individuals that made Mr. Trapp's work of art a possibility for our downtown. And it shows that even though Souderton may not be a tourist mecca, or a college town, or a destination resort, even though Souderton may not have a new or unique industry to support, the most striking aspect of our borough can be seen right here, and that is that the community and the people in our community always give of their time, their talents, and their energy for the betterment of all. This is what makes Souderton unique. We, the people, are concerned with our borough and involved in our borough more than the people in any town I've ever lived in. And so now we're well on our way to redefining Souderton. No longer will it be a pass-through town. Rather, it will be a go-to town. Now, Dave Moyer, representing Moyer & Son, or Moyer Indoor Outdoor, sorry Dave, and the Rotary Club would like to say a few words.